This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Mr. Perez, and you're listening to the Better Live Than Dead podcast, brought to you exclusively on Gear Network. Listen in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the BLTD Extracast. Do not adjust your dial, ladies and gentlemen. That is a screaming baby behind me. And yes, I am John Cimino, the host of Get Ready America and Talking Wrestling on the Gear Radio Network. But today, coming to you from the Gear Network studios, specifically for BLTD Extracast, and I am joined by the host of the actual podcast, the host of this actual forum, Ryan Wolfe, who is on location in a discreet place, handling some business.
We'll say it's discreet. We'll say it's a discreet place.
It is a very discreet place. But Ryan and I wanted to get together in some way, shape, or form to discuss the big news. Of course, I am a Jets fan in the heart of Bills country, so I can't ignore this type of stuff. And Ryan, you being the BLTD guy, the podcast guy, the head honcho of BLTDsports.com, you can't ignore this. Buffalo Bills, they sure as...
The resident Bills fan.
That's right. That's
staff.
Right. That's right, resident Bills fan on staff. I'm sympathetic towards the Bills as well. Not necessarily sympathetic, but what's the word I'm looking for? Empathetic, maybe. I don't wish them ill. It's the Patriots I don't particularly care for. So
nobody does.
They're right, but big news today out of One Bills Drive, and I will turn it over to you to kind of lead it off. I already know what we're going to talk about, but lead the way, my man.
First of all, you are John at DJ Cimino on Twitter. I am Ryan Wolfe at Wolfe BLTD on Twitter. So make sure we get that out there.
That's right.
But the big news today out of One Bills Drive was the Buffalo Bills cut longtime Bill Fred Jackson, heart and soul of the football team, if you will, a big figure in the city of Buffalo and in Orchard Park. He ends his Bills career with 5,646 rushing yards, third all-time in Bills history behind, obviously, Thurman Thomas and O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 34 years old, 10 years with the organization. It's not really a shocking move because, obviously, we saw that the writing was kind of on the wall back in April when reportedly he was going to be cut then, and Terry Pagula reportedly stepped in and said, no, I want to keep him for a little while longer. Obviously, this time around, general manager Doug Whaley said he spoke to Terry and Kim Pagula, and everybody was on board from the top to the bottom. Everybody was okay with this decision today. It saves the Bills roughly $2.55 million, but still, very shocking move today to see longtime Buffalo Bill Fred Jackson shown the door. Obviously, as we always say, sports our business, but usually when things like this happen, it tugs on your heart just a little.
It does tug on the heart because when I think of Fred Jackson, I think of that reaction that you heard my daughter Emma in the background there when he would tear through the Jets line because he would do things like that. Obviously, he played very well against the Patriots as well. But the one thing that stands and will always stand the test of time with Fred Jackson is the very iconic sight of him leading the charge, holding the American flag at home games. I mean, that right there, if you didn't get pumped up, and like, again, Jets fan in Bills country, but I grew up on the Buffalo Bills, as I've told you before. Van Miller was, a voice that I was frequently accustomed to hearing every Sunday. But if you didn't see that and you didn't think, damn, that is, that right there kind of epitomizes Americana, then you don't have a heart. And that's what Fred Jackson meant to this particular franchise. That's what he means to Western New York. He is I don't want to say larger than life, but he is a very, very well-known, well-loved, respected figure in Western New York.
It's very easy to say right now, looking back on his tenure with the Buffalo Bills. There's no doubt he'll be a Buffalo Bills Wall of Famer. Get his name put up on the facade at Ralph Wilson Stadium. If by that point there is still Ralph Wilson Stadium, obviously we don't know. But going with what we know now, just to go a little more in depth here, obviously his roster spot was not safe. He had to prove himself in some way, shape, or form. Hurt his hamstring, missed 2 weeks. Didn't really jump off the page. I mean, in camp with younger fresher running backs who are faster. He obviously looked a little slower, but you know what Fred Jackson brings to the table. It looks like the Bills right now are going to go into the season with LaShawn McCoy, Boobie Dixon, Bryce Brown, and Carlos Williams at running back, which what we all thought at the beginning, we didn't want to believe that Fred Jackson was going to be on the outs in Buffalo, but like you said, almost a larger-than-life figure. It's going to be a very big void in Western New York. Obviously, someone else will step up in his absence, but
absolutely,
it's going to be very, very weird that first week of football to see the Bills in the field without number 22 in the backfield.
Absolutely, I agree 100% with you. And now that brings the question: where are his potential landing spots if he's even picked up by a team? There's
no doubt that he'll end up somewhere in the National Football League.
I can't imagine that he won't, but I have 3 teams that seem to either make that there's some sort of connection, seem to make sense there, and I want to run these by you, and I want to see what you think about this.
Okay.
Team number 1 I have is the Dallas Cowboys. Now they're very thin. I don't want to say they're thin at running back, but the running back core that they have is not really good. Joseph Randle has some promise to that running back core, but Darren McFadden you have there. Whether or not he can remain healthy will depend on really the line, and it's very protective. It's tough to say McFadden and not give him the benefit of the doubt because he played his entire career in Oakland, and Oakland's terrible. But
with the Dallas Cowboys, and I wasn't sorry, John. I wasn't sure how you wanted to do this, but
nope,
I figured we'd just go team to team and just talk about them.
That's fine.
With the Dallas Cowboys, something did come across the line this afternoon. I believe I saw it on rotoworld.com. The Dallas Cowboys do have interest in Fred Jackson, from what I gather, but it's not a thing where they're interested now. It's something where if McFadden and Randall don't work out, which with the Cowboys it looks like they're going to ride the hot hand, so if Randall's having a great game, McFadden will see less carries and vice versa, which may work. Who knows? Just, you say, here's the keys to the car, whoever wants to take it, and whoever wants to take it can take it, have fun. But from what I gather on the internet, the Dallas Cowboys have interest, but it would be something if it's week 2 or 3 and the Cowboys running backs are struggling, that they may look to sign Fred Jackson, obviously, who's from the Dallas area, who went to high school and all that stuff in Dallas, in the Dallas area. I can't remember exactly where he went to school, but I do recall when the Bills played in Dallas, there was a big deal about Fred Jackson because he was, I believe, something like he grew up where like Cowboy Stadium currently is or something like that.
Yes, he attended Lamar High School in Arlington.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Cowboys could be a fit. I can see it happening, but I right now I don't think that is the number 1 destination for Fred Jackson.
Right, and I'm kind of making my way backwards as to my personal opinion as to 3-2-1, so to speak. So number 3, Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, I'm putting the doggone New York Jets on that list because of 2 reasons. I can see the connection between Chan Gailey and Haye. He's got a lot of his former teammates that are there as well. There's that. But also, number 2, given that Rex Ryan randomly picked up IK Eric Campali or whatever, however you pronounce his last name, I completely butchered it. I apologize. But the pickup of IK was really, honestly, to stick it to the Jets. Is Woody...
You can hold on just one, John.
Yep.
John, if you can just hold on just one moment, please. Thank you, sir. Sorry, John, I know you were talking about IK Enekpali, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I was rudely interrupted at my job, so please continue with what you were saying.
At your discreet location. Discreet location. That's right. That's how we sold this gimmick today, buddy. But anyways, the pickup of IK. Yes, I know, Emma. My daughter is joining me in the studio here, and she is not happy that Daniel Tiger is about to end. But
Daniel Tiger is a pretty good TV show, man.
I like Daniel Tiger. I like Word Girl too, but that's a different.
It freaked me out. The first time I saw Daniel Tiger. Here's a little bit of an off the record thing. The first time I saw Daniel Tiger, I was freaked out because I did not realize it was the modern day version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I was like, why? I was like, what's up with this show? And then I saw it and I realized, I'm like, oh man, they just remade Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Except with a cartoon tiger.
Without the creepy old man in a sweater vest.
Oh, we miss you, Mr. Rogers. Safe home.
Bang, 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 bang.
All right, but anyways, my theory on Fred Jackson to the Jets was that Woody Johnson playing the spiteful card, so to speak, And that's not out of the realm of possibility, although the new general manager and the new coach, Coach Bowles, they don't strike me as that type of regime. But I wouldn't put it past Woody Johnson to be like, hey, you know what? Why not?
I don't think it would necessarily be a spike thing, but I certainly think that Chan Gailey, being the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets at this point in time, ex-Buffalo Bills head coach, knows Fred Jackson pretty well. He may go to the front office and say, hey, guys, we may or may not need this guy, but having him under our wing will be very beneficial, because I assume as well that Chan Gailey, being an offensive coordinator now, is most likely going to run the same kind of stuff in New York that he was running in Buffalo, plus obviously with Buffalo, or with coming from Buffalo, obviously he can help spill some offensive secrets and help other teams get acclimated to the Bills just a little easier.
Right. And I mean, judging by the two preseason games that Ryan Fitzpatrick started for the New York Jets, offense is very similar to how he was with Buffalo. So that
with Fitzpatrick, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, that's just how he's always worked.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're going to get in New York with Fitzpatrick. So hopefully less the interceptions at the end of the game, like he's known to do and has been known to do. But we'll see there. The Jets are in full-blown rebuild mode anyway, so I'm not expecting anything out of them. But the number one team that I think, and that some other sports analysts, and up to and including the Radio Press Box on ESPN Rochester, free plug there for you guys, but they think the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick has been, Bill Belichick obviously respects him. They respect him there. And Bill Belichick has been known to have kind of gushed, if you will, about Fred Jackson. He likes the older running backs as well, as you've seen with in years past. I see this as the most realistic destination for Fred Jackson. What do you think?
At this point, if Fred Jackson does not sign with the New England Patriots, I would consider it an upset. I mean, Bill Belichick has spoken very highly of Fred, as you mentioned in the past. I know when there were rumors of Fred Jackson being cut in April, you heard Bill Belichick say a few things about how much of a stand-up guy Fred Jackson is and all this stuff. But I feel like Fred Jackson's game fits New England very well, with his hard-nosed running style, his ability to catch passes out of the backfield, as well as his blocking ability. I certainly feel like the way that the New England Patriots run their offense, it's almost a perfect fit for Fred Jackson.
I would agree with you. I'd hate to kind of see him in those colors, but again, Fred Jackson being a good guy, you want to wish him the best. You want to wish him well, and hey, maybe he can get a chance at a playoff run.
Yeah, and I just continuously thinking about what's happening with New England Patriots. I mean, you can never have enough good football players on your team, and I just again it. Even back in April when the Bills were talking about potentially cutting Fred Jackson, I was telling people, I won't be surprised if he goes to New England. Not even because they're an AFC team or that they are the Bills' rival. It's just the fact that he is such a good fit for that offense and for that football team. It would make sense. It wouldn't make sense for him to go anywhere else at this point in time. So, I feel like we probably have hit the nail on the head just a handful of times in this wonderful conversation we've been having. So,
absolutely.
I guess before we wrap things up, I do want to ask you: is there anything else you'd like to add to the Fred Jackson news that we had received this morning?
I have no additional news. I mean, we pretty much covered everything as far as that goes. I was thinking, depending on how long this was going to go, maybe throwing out Tyrod Taylor and how you feel about that, but we should probably save that for the actual BLTD podcast this week.
That will be coming around sometime this week whenever the BLTD podcast is recorded. We may also have a quick season preview on the podcast this week. I'm not sure how that's going to go down yet or what's going to go down at this point in time. But stay tuned for that. Obviously, keep it locked on BLTDsports.com for the latest breaking sports news. You can follow us on Twitter at BLTDsports. You can follow John at DJC Money. Listen to Get Ready America every week on the Gear Radio Network. Follow me on Twitter, at WolfBLTD. Obviously, tune into the Better Live Than Dead podcast. Had last week off, recharging the batteries. We're back this week better than ever, hopefully.
And, well, hey, if this is a good start here, this is a good start. We got the Extracast going. So we're full speed ahead, my man. All right, Ryan. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to kind of lead in on this podcast here, this quick little Extracast, and I will get this out to you and get it out to the people of BLTD and Gear Network Nation as soon as possible.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for hosting me.
All right, so from Gear Network Studios, so long, everybody. Good night now.
Bye.